This unattractive girl had become a popular internet girl. She was carefully looking at her selfies on the computer. She was making her eyes bigger and perfecting her features. In just a few moments, she transformed it into a stunning photo. Ajin posted the photo online and it immediately attracted a lot of followers. However, no one knew that in real life, she was just an unattractive girl. Not only was she not good-looking, but her shy and timid nature at school really irritated Hanu. Hanu used to bully her like a little child. Every day, she would ask her the same question. Who is the most beautiful in the world? Ajin would say that it was Hanu. But Hanu would reply, I ate ramen yesterday, so my face is swollen. You're clearly lying. Then she would scratch Ajin's face, ask why she looked like that and push her to the ground. The male students had gotten used to seeing all this. After all, the hero only saves the beautiful girl, not the ugly one. When it was time for class, she had to get up by herself. She knew very well that no one would care about her. That's why she spent all her time editing photos. She depended on the compliments of online users to fill the emptiness inside her. She opened her lighted makeup mirror, carefully applied makeup, put in contact lenses and wore her wig. Then she found a suitable outfit. Ajin would keep taking photos until she was satisfied, and every pose was carefully planned. Then she would open photo editing software and edit the pictures so much that even her own mother wouldn't recognize her. Online, Ajin's name was Ginny. Just 3 seconds after posting a photo, there would be a flood of comments and likes, which made her a popular internet girl with 700,000 followers. The thing people commented the most online was, with such a beautiful face like yours, how could you ever be sad? Ajin couldn't answer because she herself was curious about this question. The next day, she went to get some merchandise. Being a popular internet girl had its own perks. Just by getting endorsements from brands, she could get all kinds of new products for free. Ajin really liked this. From big to small shops, from clothes to jewelry, she practically led online fashion trends. Then one day, Hanu noticed the bracelet on her wrist. It turned out that after taking a photo yesterday, she had forgotten to take it off. Hanu complimented her, said it was beautiful, and then wore it on her own wrist. Ajin naturally understood what she meant. But even though she gave the bracelet to Hanu, she was still the target of isolation. She had to go to the rooftop to have lunch. At that moment, a boy came running from behind. He was the most handsome boy in the school. But because he was also isolated, he became Ajin's friend. She didn't know if it was because his eyesight wasn't good or if people like Jin Sang usually just complimented his looks. Ajin was both shy and secretly happy. When she got home, she was so happy that she couldn't sleep and she kept thinking about what Jin Sang had said. Today, the two of them went to check out a newly opened restaurant. Ajin had prepared very carefully. While eating, out of habit, she took out her phone and started taking pictures of the food continuously. Seeing this, Jin Sang said that he wanted to become friends on social media. Ajin immediately said yes, but quickly added that she doesn't use these things and doesn't like posting photos. After finishing the meal, Jin Sang wanted to go to karaoke. Ajin said she had some work to do, but in reality, she had received an assignment to check in at this restaurant under the name Ginny. So Ajin said goodbye to Jin Sang and putting on her wig, went back to the restaurant alone. She found a quiet spot in the corner and started taking photos expertly. Then she rushed home to edit them. The caption was, "Still reading a book and drinking coffee without makeup." Online users praised her a lot, and Ajin was very happy. But just before going to sleep, she received a strange private message. "I saw you today, Ginny." Ajin didn't pay much attention to it. But the next sentence was, "You look so different in real life compared to your photos." After that, there was a video of her taking today's photos. Ajin immediately sat up. She could barely sleep the whole night. She kept looking at the messages that were being sent. Once again, she started to suspect that this person was very close to her. Just as she was about to ask who it was, Hanu came over to cause trouble. She said that the bracelet was fake and that wearing it was giving her a rash. Ajin was focused only on her phone until Hanu angrily pushed her. She said, "Then why don't you just buy it yourself?" Hanu really hadn't expected Ajin to talk back to her. Hanu raised her hand, intending to teach Ajin a lesson, when suddenly the homeroom teacher appeared at the door and told everyone to quickly line up for exercise. All Ajin could think about was who that person was. Hanu kept chattering behind her, and she didn't hear a single word. Just then she received a text message. "Are you so scared that you can't even focus?" Ajin observed the students around her. She felt as if this person was hiding among them. But no matter how much she looked, she didn't find anything suspicious. Immediately after, another message arrived and Ajin fainted from fear. When she woke up, She was in the nurse's office. Ajin picked up her phone and checked the mysterious account again, but found nothing. She decided to reply. Just then, Jin Sang arrived. He said that he was the one who brought Ajin here. After saying this, he tried to take Ajin's phone to contact her parents. Ajin quickly snatched it back from him, making the excuse that she was fine. Then they went together to the rooftop to have lunch. Seeing Ajin eating bread again, Jin Sang immediately put it in his own mouth and gave his rice to Ajin. 100 emotions were swirling inside Ajin's heart. She was worried that if that mysterious person revealed the truth, Jin Sang would hate her and call her ugly. If Hanu and the others found out, things would become even more hopeless. Ajin took only 2 bites and then left. In class, Hanu threw a piece of paper at her with sorry written on it. It turned out that the homeroom teacher had just spoken to Hanu. Thinking that Ajin had fainted because she was scared of Hanu, Ajin knew that Hanu was just pretending. After school, she opened the messaging app again. Just as she was about to reply, Jin Sang came up from behind. Even though they didn't take the same route, he wanted to walk her home. Ajin was extremely surprised. They ran off and sat for a while. Jin Sang said that the moon is very beautiful tonight. Ajin thought to herself that because he is a perfect person, everything seems beautiful to him. Then Jin Sang said, "Actually, you are like the moon, hidden among dark clouds without any blemish." Ajin was extremely embarrassed. She couldn't muster the courage to tell Jin Sang that she was actually a fraud, so she picked up her bag and went home. That evening, online users forced her to post a new photo. Ajin only changed her profile picture, which was taken from behind. Online users started worrying that something might have happened to the beautiful Jin. Ajin couldn't reply because she knew very well that if she posted a new photo, that mysterious person would definitely be provoked. At that point, it would be impossible to hide her identity. Ajin was sadly at a loss for what to do. But just then the brand sent a message. It turned out that she had signed a contract, and if she didn't post a photo within the specified time, she would have to pay a hefty penalty for breaking the contract. Ajin looked at the pile of packages and felt conflicted. After thinking about it for a night, she finally posted a photo. Online users were very happy and immediately started commenting enthusiastically. Ajin looked at her phone and felt extremely stressed. Just then, Hanu started calling her again. Because she didn't hear, she didn't respond. Hanu's lackey was unhappy and immediately moved forward to snatch Ajin's phone. Ajin thought that she wouldn't dare to shout. But unexpectedly, the usually timid girl bit the lackey's hand directly. As soon as she bent down to pick up her phone, the mysterious person sent another message. Obviously, he thought that Ajin was provoking him and forced Ajin to reply to his messages. The lackey standing next to her kept kicking her, but Ajin didn't feel any pain. She just picked up her phone and went back to her seat. Ajin hesitated for a moment out of fear that the truth would come out, but still replied. She asked the mysterious person what he wanted, but on the other side, it was said that she would have to meet in the storage room after school. At this point, as if hallucinating, she became even more afraid of her identity being exposed. The day her classmates would make fun of her, she went to the storage room and began to wait anxiously. But what she didn't expect was that the person who came was Jin Sang. Ajin asked fearfully, "Is it really you?" But Jin Sang said that he was originally waiting for her at the school gate, and when he didn't see her, he came here to look for her. From Jin Sang's expression, it didn't seem like he was lying. Ajin made an excuse and told him to leave first. But when she looked down from the window, Jin Sang hadn't gone anywhere. He was sitting on the bench. Ajin decided to test him. She texted the mysterious person, asking why he hadn't come yet. Then she observed Jin Sang's reaction. Unexpectedly, Jin Sang actually picked up his phone, looked at it, and even laughed. Ajin felt as if she had been struck by lightning, and she couldn't even bring herself to look at Jin Sang anymore, collapsing alone onto her desk. 2 months earlier, one day Ajin was sitting on the rooftop scrolling through the news. When Jin Sang suddenly appeared in front of her, her phone even fell down. When Jin Sang picked it up, Ajin quickly ran downstairs. Jin Sang covered his eyes and said that he hadn't seen anything. Ajin believed him and then began to accept Jin Sang's kindness. But now, looking back, she realized that maybe she had been deceived. While Ajin was still in shock, the security guard told her to go home. She went downstairs anxiously but ran into Jin Sang at the door. Ajin didn't have the courage to talk to him and quickly tried to leave, but Jin Sang followed her. He innocently asked Ajin why she wasn't walking with him. Ajin was confused and afraid that Jin Sang would reveal her identity. She could only make the excuse that she wasn't in a good mood today. At that moment, the sound of a cat meowing came from the bushes. Jin Sang immediately ran over there and took out a can of cat food from his bag. Seeing the kind-hearted Jinsang, Ajin started to feel dizzy. But very quickly she remembered the profile picture of the mysterious person's account, which was a cat. Remembering their previous conversation, Ajin felt that it had all been done on purpose. So she ran home crying. Even after looking at Jinsang's social media account, Ajin still couldn't believe that he was the mysterious person. But as soon as she put her phone down, she accidentally liked Jinsang from Jin's account. She found out about it the next morning when she woke up. Seeing that Jinsang had followed her made her even more anxious. At school, Jinsang was as enthusiastic as ever. It seemed like he hadn't noticed Ajin's tension and happily told her that a popular internet girl had liked him. While talking about Jin's looks, Jinsang showered her with endless compliments. When Ajin heard these words, they felt just like taunts. To test whether Jinsang was the mysterious person, Ajin texted the mysterious person. Then she reminded Jinsang that his phone was ringing and told him to check his messages. Jinsang was stunned by this. It turned out that he didn't have his phone with him and had left it in the classroom. During class, Ajin still couldn't concentrate. Suddenly, a message came from the mysterious person. "Why have you been making that face for a while now? Stop getting lost in your thoughts." Ajin nervously looked around. Hanu, the teacher's pet, and the male students, all of them became suspects in Ajin's eyes. So she texted again and asked the mysterious person what he really wanted. The mysterious person replied and gave Ajin a mission. She had to come to school the next day wearing the same pink lipstick from 2 weeks ago, or else he would reveal her identity. Ajin returned home and locked herself in her room. Seeing the pink lipstick on the table, she knew she had no choice. The next day at school, Ajin kept her face covered with her hair as always. But Hanu still saw her. Unexpectedly, Ajin, who was usually simple, had started wearing makeup. Hanu pushed Ajin's hair back and told her sidekick to take out her phone and start recording. Jinsang was standing by the window, watching everything. He couldn't muster the courage to go inside because he was also afraid of being bullied. At that moment, the teacher came in and scolded both girls for bullying, and also explained to Ajin that she shouldn't come to school wearing such heavy makeup next time. Ajin ran to the bathroom to clean it off. But the mysterious person texted her and complimented her. "You look very beautiful like this." At that moment, Ajin only felt humiliated. She went to the rooftop. She wanted to jump down, but didn't have the courage. She sat down on the ground and started sobbing. She began slapping herself like crazy. In the afternoon, the teacher let the students go early. Ajin lay down on her desk. She didn't know where to go. After a while, she got ready to go home by bus. But when she opened the mysterious person's account, there was a photo of her waiting for the bus. Ajin ran over there. She wanted to see who it was. But immediately after, the mysterious person updated the instructions for Ajin to board bus number 370B. After getting on the bus, Ajin received the next set of directions. She didn't have time to think, and eventually she arrived in front of a villa. At this point, she was just one wall away from the mysterious person. Ajin hesitated standing outside. As a result, she received a surveillance video showing her current appearance. Ajin got scared and wanted to run away. But suddenly, the door opened and the figure gradually became clear. Then a boy wearing glasses appeared. Ajin fell to the ground because the person standing in front of her was none other than the class's top student, Ho Yin. Ajin asked Ho Yin how he found out. Ho Yin said, "Because you're too careless." It turned out that a school photo Ajin had posted a month ago had accidentally revealed information about the school. Ho Yin didn't see Jin at school, so he started screening everyone. When he didn't find any clues, Jin posted another photo the next day. Ajin's phone was showing a lot of messages. Ho Yin started to get suspicious. Then Jin posted a photo where the injury matched Ajin's. That's why Ho Yin started following Ajin. Obviously, after a while, Ajin quietly put her wig back on and went to a corner to take selfies. From that moment, Ho Yin decided that Jin was actually Ajin and he filmed a video. But what Ajin couldn't understand was that Ho Yin was good at studies and his family conditions were good, so what exactly did he want from her? Ajin pretended to kneel, hoping that Ho Yin would let her go. But Ho Yin said that he only wanted one thing, to see her real face. Then Ho Yin helped Ajin up and told her that his girlfriend would be arriving soon, and that person was Hanu. Then Ho Yin revealed another secret of Ajin's. It turned out that Hanu would always message Jinny's account, asking about issues related to matching clothes. Ajin patiently replied but hid her true identity. If Hanu found out that she was Jinny, she would never let her go. Ho Yin asked why she was lying. Ajin remembered something from a year ago. At that time, she had just created the Jinny account and Hanu would comment every day and wanted to be friends with her. Ajin became emotional because in reality, she didn't have a single friend. She considered Hanu a confidant and would send her nice things. Ho Yin knew that Ajin didn't want to reveal herself, so he took her away. On the bus, Ajin received another message from Hanu. She said that she was out on a date with her boyfriend. She was asking what Ajin was doing. Ajin was stunned for a moment and could only send a random photo. Hanu kept messaging, but Ajin was no longer in the mood to reply. The next day, Ho Yin met Ajin at a coffee shop. He deliberately chose a new shop with fewer people. But Ajin was still very cautious. She made an excuse, saying Ho Yin's glasses were really nice, and after putting them on, she kept checking for hidden cameras. Ho Yin realized what Ajin was up to. He deliberately lifted his shirt to show his burned skin. At first, he wanted to use his secret in exchange for Ajin's trust. But Ajin immediately took out her phone and started taking non-stop pictures. Now both of them had each other's weaknesses. And as a condition of the exchange, Ajin had to perform a genie scene in front of Ho Yin. Ajin took out the prepared props and put on the dress and wig. Ho Yin wanted to become her photographer. But because she was very nervous, her every movement was very awkward. Ho Yin gave up and let Ajin take the photos herself. Obviously, Ajin was much more comfortable. Next, the photos had to be edited. Seeing her skilled operation, Ho Yin was a little impressed. That evening, Ajin reviewed the photos she had taken that day. It turned out that she had not only taken her own photo, but also Ho Yin's. Ajin was even happier this time when Hanu texted her. She hadn't been able to contact her boyfriend all day, so she hugged her phone and complained. She even photoshopped a picture of herself and Ajin together. Expressing regret, she said how nice it would be if they were friends in real life. Once again, Ajin didn't know how to reply. At that moment, Ginseng texted again. He still hadn't forgotten that Ginny had once liked his photo, and he wanted to take advantage of this opportunity to get to know her. Ajin replied that she had pressed it by mistake. Unexpectedly, Ginseng didn't mind at all. He was behaving completely like a lovesick fool. Ajin felt strange in her heart. The male god she had secretly admired for so long had actually become a fan of another girl's beauty. In anger, Ajin deliberately replied with ambiguous messages. She even asked Ginseng to send a short video. She thought Ginseng would refuse, but he actually sent it. Ajin's heart fell into a deep abyss. Now she saw that he was no different from the others, hiding lust behind a serious appearance. The next day after school, Ginseng came to the classroom to look for Ajin. All the classmates teased her, saying, "Your Prince Charming is here." But Ajin didn't want to pay attention. She turned her head away and didn't look at Ginseng. This sudden coldness surprised Ginseng. After school, he pulled Ajin aside and asked her. Ajin started to find him even more fake. However, Ginseng said he had something to tell her. If she didn't come, he would wait in the park. Ajin still walked away without looking back. Ajin locked herself in her room for a long time. Finally, around 12 or 12:30, she went to the park to clarify things with Ginseng. But what she didn't expect was that Ginseng said he was going to transfer schools. As a friend, he was very hesitant to leave Ajin. That's why he wanted to say goodbye before leaving. Ajin turned her back and started crying. She still didn't have the courage to expose Ginseng. Ajin thought that maybe it's good he's leaving, so she wouldn't have to feel even sadder. After returning home, Ajin hugged her phone. She didn't know whom to share her feelings with. She opened the chat box with Hanu. She asked, what should she do if the person she likes isn't the way she imagined? Hanu patiently comforted her, but in reality, she herself was feeling very sad at that moment. It turned out that Hoen actually didn't like Hanu, even though they had fixed a date. Hanu had to wait the whole day. Both girls remained sad like this the entire night. Ginseng soon completed the transfer procedures. Ajin didn't say goodbye to her, but on the rooftop where the two had once eaten together, she found a postcard written by Ginseng. It turned out that Ajin's birthday was coming up soon. Ginseng sent her congratulations and also said that the time she spent eating with her was the most precious memory of her life. Seeing Ginseng leaving through the school gate, Ajin couldn't stop herself from crying. In the evening, she went to the park with 2 bottles of milk. She used to drink them with Ginseng, but this time she was alone. Ajin was drinking while crying, completely unaware that Hoen was behind her, recording a video of her talking to herself. After she left, he even stole the bottle of milk she had left on the bench. When he got home, Hoen met Hanu at the door. Hanu realized that he was in a good mood, and just as she was about to ask him something, he turned around and walked away. Hanu followed him and snatched the bottle of milk away. Hoen got angry and even said that she looked very ugly today. He told her to go home quickly. Hanu thought she was very fat and, upon reaching home, started trying to lose weight like crazy. She dreamed of being as perfect as Jeannie, but no matter how much she exercised, her weight wouldn't go down. When she got bored, she browsed Hohen's social media account and was surprised to find a selfie she had never seen before. Hanu started to worry, and while in class, she even had a dream. In the dream, Ajin strutted into the class and announced in front of everyone that her mother worked as a cleaner in a restaurant. Hanu was scared because she had always claimed to be the owner's daughter. Ajin tried her best to shut her mouth until she woke up from the dream. She quickly texted Ginny to ask which hairstyle would suit her. Ajin was eating bread on the rooftop. Without ginseng, she was feeling extremely lonely. But at that moment, Hohen came upstairs. He even thoughtfully brought her some water. Actually, Hohen didn't hate Ajin either. He just wanted to see her true self. After talking for a while, the two of them started joking around. This scene was witnessed by Hanu, who had been following Hohen. She truly couldn't understand why her boyfriend, who was so rude to her, was hanging out with an ugly girl. Back in the classroom, she took out her anger on her best friend. When her best friend couldn't figure out what was going on, Ajin returned just then. She hugged her phone and smiled foolishly. Hanu found this very annoying. Just then, a male classmate bumped into Ajin, causing her makeup to fall. However, Ajin quickly took out new makeup from her bag. But even then, Hanu, standing there angrily, pushed Ajin, stepped on her and crushed her self-esteem. The rest of the people pretended as if they hadn't seen anything. Only Hohen intervened. Making the excuse that the teacher would be coming soon, she told Hanu to stop everything. Hanu went back to her seat, while Ajin could only hide in the bathroom and cry. Being a girl, she felt extremely humiliated. When she opened her phone, there was a message that Hanu had sent to Jeannie. Ajin was both angry and sad. She wanted to unfollow Hanu, but then she remembered the things that had happened in the past. At that time, she had just transferred to the school. The beautiful Hanu used to treat her very kindly. Hanu's best friend was very jealous and started creating rifts in their relationship because she found out that Hanu's mother worked as a cleaner in a restaurant. Her best friend spread this news everywhere and then blamed Ajin for it. Hanu, in anger, used to look for Ajin and constantly harassed her. Ajin thought about these things and made her account private. Hanu was very surprised to see this. Online users started speculating even more that Jeannie had found a sugar daddy, and that's why she no longer played online. Ajin was reading the comments and fell into deep thought. At that moment, two junior high school students passed by. They were also Jeannie's fans and had come specifically to buy the lip gloss that Jeannie had recommended. Ajin looked at her reflection in the mirror with disappointment. Knowing that fantasy could not become reality, she hesitated. She didn't know whether to delete her account or not. But at that very moment, a new student transferred in. Ajin looked closely. This person looked exactly like the way she had edited Jeannie. The classmates, thinking that the popular internet girl had arrived, started praising her. The fake Jeannie also didn't explain, because her goal was to pretend to be Jeannie and attract a large number of brain-dead fans to satisfy her vanity. Even the teacher at the podium said that there was a big star in the class. Ajin was feeling very uncomfortable. But before she could say anything, Hanu said that he suspected the fake Jeannie's identity and asked, "If you are Jeannie, why don't you prove it?" The others also felt that this was a valid point. But the fake Jeannie said, "I never said that I am Jeannie." But Jeannie has never revealed her identity online. This shows that she has a reason for not going public, and I hope that everyone will respect her privacy. This statement was very vague and Hanu didn't know how to respond. Ajin kept looking at the fake Jeannie. She truly couldn't understand why such a beautiful person wasn't satisfied with herself and why she had to pretend to be someone else. Ajin was determined to expose the real face of the fake Jeannie. But the other friends really liked her appearance. After school, everyone surrounded her. Hanu was angry. Suddenly, the fake Jeannie walked up to Ajin. It turned out that she had recognized Ajin as the isolated student. That's why she deliberately acted friendly. She invited Ajin to a dinner party. After saying this, she took out her phone and saved Ajin's number. Then she didn't forget to compliment Ajin, saying that her eyes are very beautiful and have a strange kind of attraction. Ajin doesn't stare at the fake Jeannie, even though she was always smiling. She was very scared. After school, Ajin went to find Hohen so she could discuss this with him. Hohen definitely knew that the fake Jeannie was just acting. But one thing seemed true to him. Ajin's eyes really were beautiful, and even he couldn't look away from them. Ajin awkwardly coughed a few times. At that moment, Hanu called. Ajin didn't know about the situation and said a sentence, "Can I drink this milk tea?" On the other end of the line, Hanu heard everything. Seeing her boyfriend hurriedly hang up the phone, she suddenly felt bad. She composed herself a little and quickly ran to her boyfriend's house. But the girl she suspected had already left. There was only an empty bottle of milk tea on the table. She asked carefully, "Who was that girl who just left?" Her boyfriend replied, "You don't know her. Is there something else?" She mentioned the profile picture, asking where it was taken. Her boyfriend immediately lost patience, sat down, and started playing on his phone. Hanu felt like she was unnecessary and left sensibly. That evening, the fake genie deliberately invited Ajin to the party. Ajin sat down and looked at the friends who had been invited. All of them had been bullied by Hanu. She understood the fake genie's intention. She wanted to form a group to isolate Hanu. Ajin didn't want to do such a thing. She made an excuse that she had some work and left. Unexpectedly, the fake genie followed her, grabbed her hand, apologized, and said that actually she was just like her. Once she too had been isolated by people like Hanu, so she wanted to be friends with her to avoid being bullied by Hanu. Ajin found this fake, so she pulled her hand away so that people wouldn't be deceived by the fake genie. Ajin went home, made her account public, and posted a photo with the caption that she had spent a day at a coffee shop. Hanu was happy to see the post, but very soon she realized that something was wrong. In the photo, the background of the coffee shop was exactly the same as in her boyfriend's profile picture. She quickly looked at the other posts. Unexpectedly, the kind of milk Genie liked to drink was exactly the same as the one kept on the table at her boyfriend's house. What scared her even more was that all the jewelry Genie had posted, she had exactly the same ones, and in fact, Genie had stolen these things from Ajin. Hanu thought about her boyfriend who had recently been hanging out with Ajin as if she had guessed something. The next day, all the friends saw Genie's post. The fake Genie deliberately didn't mention it. She just vaguely said that the cake at that shop wasn't bad. At that moment, everyone thought she was Jinn and started looking at her with admiration. Only Ajin stared at her. She had seen people walk away before, but she had never seen anyone walk away like this. Just as Ajin was about to do something, the fake Jinn took out a lipstick. As if by coincidence, Hanu noticed it. Hanu said, "Jinn has never used a mass-market brand lipstick." Fake Jinn was very embarrassed, but outwardly she still appeared very calm. At this moment, Hanu turned to look at Ajin. Ajin didn't have the courage to look at her directly and went alone to the rooftop. But Hanu texted Jin's account, asking how she had been lately and why she kept locking and unlocking her account. Ajin replied that she was not okay. Unexpectedly, Hanu mentioned fake Jin and wanted to video call her to prove that she was Jin. Naturally, Ajin did not accept this invitation. She said she was eating and didn't have time. Then she took a photo of bread with the sky in the background. The school bell rang and Ajin ran back with the remaining bread. Suddenly, Hanu appeared in front of her. Ajin tried to stay calm and tried to go downstairs, but the bread was snatched from her hand. Hanu became even more certain about her guess, but she didn't do anything. Since childhood, she came from a poor family. Her father was an alcoholic who didn't do any proper work, and her mother had to do all kinds of jobs to support the family. Although she loved her mother, she had developed a pretentious heart. She had told all these things to Jin. That's why she was afraid of being in public. She was afraid that her fake identity as the owner's daughter would be exposed. On the other hand, the fake Jin had formed a group with Sahi. Clearly, Sahi looked very beautiful with her long hair. But she told her that short hair is more beautiful. Sahi, who was used to being submissive, wholeheartedly believed this. But when she saw herself in the mirror looking like a man, she wanted to die. At that moment, the fake Jin appeared in front of her and said, "How beautiful this is. Can't you see that you look like a supermodel?" Sahi pretended to act coy. "No wonder I feel a unique temperament. Turns out it's like a supermodel." With that confidence, Sahi went to school. A group of boys laughed so hard their jaws hurt. But the fake Jin stood in front of them and said, "This is supermodel style. If you don't understand, then don't talk nonsense." The group of boys laughed even harder. Even Ajin couldn't help but laugh. "This isn't supermodel style. This is clearly a self-destructive style." Hanu observed everything with a cool head. At this moment, she wanted to know even more whether her boyfriend knew that Ajin was actually hot girl Jin. The next day, her boyfriend was really on the rooftop with Ajin. Seeing them laughing and having fun, Hanu deliberately went over there to ask if her boyfriend knew Jin. Her boyfriend denied knowing her with his words, but inside, he was nervous. He made an excuse, saying that he was hanging out with Ajin because the homeroom teacher had asked him to look after the isolated students. Hanu was half convinced, half suspicious. When she got home, she searched online about Photoshop. Photoshop was like a technique for changing faces. Even the ugliest person could be edited into a great beauty. The more Hanu thought about it, the more scared she became. Because not only had she often bullied Ajin before, but she had also told Jin everything, thinking that Jin was her best friend. Meanwhile, Ho-in was also discussing things with Ajin. If she didn't want Jin's identity to be discovered, she would have to use the weaknesses she had on Hanu to threaten her. Ajin didn't want to do that. But things had already gotten out of her control. That day, Hanu went to the coffee shop. She took out Jin's photo and asked the staff, saying that the clothes looked familiar, but she couldn't remember who it was. Then Hanu openly skipped school and took a photo of Ajin. As she approached the school that Jin had mentioned, seeing that she was getting closer to the truth, Ho-in decided that she had to do something. Just as Hanu reached the school gate, she got a video call from Jin. It turned out that Ho-in had used some technique to arrange the video call. Hanu answered the call and saw Jin. She had already cleared her doubts. But suddenly, Jin received an incoming call on her phone. The signal was unstable, and her real face was about to be revealed. Ho-in ended the call. Hanu became even more suspicious, so she stopped a student who was leaving the school and asked if they had met Jin. They asked, "Are you talking about the Jin from online? How is that possible? Why would she come here to study?" Then Hanu took out a photo of Ajin. Coincidentally, it turned out that they were Ajin's former classmates. At this point, Hanu became even more certain of her judgment. Seeing her mother's call, she didn't bother to answer it. But when she reached home, she found out that her mother had passed away from a myocardial infarction. Hanu felt such painful regret that when Ajin came with her parents to pay their respects, she took out all her hatred on Ajin. Thinking that if it weren't for her, she wouldn't have missed her mother's final moments. That night, Ajin also had a bad dream. In the beginning, Ajin just wanted to find her presence online, but when things got out of control, both her body and mind began to suffer. After that, Hanu didn't come to class for a long time. The more Ajin thought about it, the guiltier she began to feel. On the other hand, the fake Jin was as happy as a fish in water. Not only did she get Sahi on her side, but she also kept planting the idea in their minds that Hanu was the ringleader of school bullying. So she deserved to get a taste of being bullied herself. That day, Hanu finally came to class. Sahi deliberately stole Ajin's necklace and spread the word in class that Hanu was the first girl to come back. And what's more, she usually liked to steal Ajin's things. People around started to cheer. Fake Jin also came up to Hanu, pretending to demand justice for Ajin. Hanu stayed bent over her desk without saying a word. Sahi pulled and dragged her, then snatched the hair clip from her hand. It was the only keepsake from her mother. But fake Jin said it was trash and threw it away. Sahi took the opportunity to mock Hanu. Unexpectedly, she touched a sore spot and got slapped. Sahi was so angry that she crushed the hair clip under her feet. Fake Jin also took the necklace out of Hanu's bag and scolded her, calling her a shameless thief. Hanu, who used to be so arrogant, was now pushed to the ground. Her self-esteem was crushed in the same way. Ajin was stunned. At this moment, she didn't feel happy at all. On the contrary, she felt very uncomfortable. She took Hanu to the infirmary and then, gathering her courage, went to Sahi. Criticizing, she said, "Aren't you all bullies too? Eating jelly from her desk is nothing and hitting her on the head as well. Even stealing things and blaming others. What right does someone like you have to demand justice?" Sahi wanted to make up a story, but as soon as she mentioned the style of the necklace, if she had never seen it, how did she know about it? The friends started making noise to support Ajin. Even Ho-in stood up and said that Sahi was a thief. In her panic, Sahi turned toward the fake genie. She thought the fake genie would speak up for her, but unexpectedly, she denied any connection, saying that she knew nothing and apologized for wrongly accusing Hanu. Sahi quickly stood up to explain. But in an era that values disappearance, who would believe what she says? Sahi started pretending to be the victim like a madwoman. This also meant that next time, the hatred would be directed at her. Ajin looked at the chaotic classroom and felt emotional. It turned out that the people who throw stones usually don't feel any pain. The ones who truly feel pain are those who get hit by the stones. She picked up Hanu's hair clip and after school admitted in front of her that she was Genie. Hanu had already guessed this answer a long time ago. But when she heard it herself, she couldn't help but question Ajin. "Why did you lie to me? If I had known you had two faces, I would never have become friends with you." Crying, Ajin explained that it was all just a coincidence. "Before transferring schools, I knew Hanu online. I never expected that we would meet at the same school and things would turn out like this." Then she turned the question around. If I had been like this from the start, not a beautiful girl like Jeannie, would you still have wanted to know me? Hanu was silent. In reality, both of them had been blinded by vanity. But they didn't know that someone in the hallway had overheard their conversation and laughed. That evening, Hanu locked herself in her room, where there was no one else. At that moment, she understood what it truly felt like to be alone. The next day, she went to say goodbye to Ho-en. Ho-en, knowing that he was wrong, did not try to stop her. Their secret relationship had come to an end. Ajin felt both guilty and ashamed. On the other hand, the fake Jeannie was living quite comfortably. She was always surrounded by flatterers. That day, Hanu accidentally dropped her lipstick. However, Hanu picked it up and apologized in time. But the fake Jeannie was not grateful at all. She loudly said that this was a new product that was sponsored. She ruined it even before I could take a photo of it. Ajin saw this and picked up her phone to post a status update, adding a note that someone had recently been impersonating her and that it had been reported. At this moment, the fake Jeannie was not in the mood to bother Hanu. All the friends were looking at that status, suspecting that she was the impersonator. The fake Jeannie immediately panicked. Quickly, she said, I didn't bring my phone today because there are so many impersonators. I've asked my manager to give a statement. The friends could see that this was clearly very forced. Ajin turned her head back and secretly celebrated. Seeing this, Hanu realized that she was helping her, so after school, she came to her herself to apologize for her previous behavior and said, even if you weren't Jeannie, maybe I would have still become friends with you. Hearing this, Ajin interrupted her in the middle. After chatting online for a long time, she understood well that Hanu was someone who valued looks. If her profile picture had been her real image, Hanu definitely wouldn't have initiated the conversation. Once again, the two parted ways unhappily. The next day, during physical education class, Ajin was still lost in her thoughts. That was the moment when the fake Jeannie came to her seat. She took out Ajin's phone. Using the fingerprint, she easily unlocked it. Then she searched for Jeannie's account. Near the end of school, Ajin realized that her phone was missing. While she was anxiously looking for it, her friend said that Jeannie had updated her status again. Ajin snatched it to take a look. It turned out that the fake Jeannie was wearing a school uniform. Everyone around was praising her. But Ajin and her two friends who knew the truth were stunned. The fake Jeannie took the opportunity to talk. Taking Ajin to the rooftop, Ajin asked for her phone back. As a result, she said that she knew very well that Ajin wouldn't reveal her secret to others. So let's become good friends. There was a hidden threat in her words. Ajin couldn't muster the courage to do anything in haste and just let her phone remain in the hands of the fake Jeannie. All the content was under her control. After that, the fake Jeannie started posting updates continuously. Two classmates wanted to take a photo with her. She deliberately pushed others forward to make her own face look smaller. One classmate said that they wanted to take another picture. But she said, "Isn't this already great? The main thing is about being authentic." However, when she tried to upload it, she realized the password was incorrect. It turned out that Ajin had changed the password on her computer. The fake Jeannie was very angry and began preparing to use her own methods to force Ajin to give her the password. Meanwhile, Ho-en had tracked down some information. He logged into the website of fake Jeannie's old school and found out that fake Jeannie had an antisocial personality. So he found one of fake Jeannie's old classmates and discovered that every time fake Jeannie joined a new school, she would pretend to be very close to her friends until she gained everyone's trust, and then she would start bullying one of them. Ho-en advised Ajin to fight back. But Ajin was afraid that her own secrets would also be revealed. By that night, fake Jeannie sent a message saying that if she didn't give her the password, she would make everything public. Ajin didn't reply. But very soon, fake Jeannie made her next move. She started trying to win over Hanu. She gave her everything she wanted and even took photos with her, saying that she would post those pictures on social media. Gradually, everyone in the class started caring about Hanu. Ajin realized that this could be a sign of an impending storm. She once again demanded that fake Jeannie return her phone. Fake Jeannie was very arrogant because she not only knew about Ajin's lie, but also knew that Hanu was the owner's fake daughter. If she made everything public, it would all be over. Ajin was scared, but what she didn't expect was that fake Jeannie had also watched the video that Jin Sang had sent earlier. Ajin lunged forward to strangle that crazy girl. Fake Jeannie threw Ajin out directly. She pushed her and asked what would happen if Jin Sang found out that the beautiful girl he admires is actually an ugly duckling in real life. Have you thought about how you will face this? Ajin helplessly fell to the ground. Just as she was about to compromise, Ho-en announced to everyone about the graduation ceremony plan. He wanted to borrow Jeannie's account to do a live stream with the purpose of promoting the school. Of course, the friends were really looking forward to it. But the fake Jeannie was feeling embarrassed. Now she didn't even know the password. So how could she do the live stream? After thinking for a while, she decided to just say yes for now. Ho-en smiled happily. No one knew what was going on in his mind. On the day of the graduation ceremony, the hallway was filled with Jeannie's posters. Seeing this, Ajin started feeling even more confused. Now she had only two options left. Either give the password and keep everyone's secrets hidden, or expose the fake Jeannie and not let her continue the act. The phone rang. It was a message from the fake Jeannie telling her to hurry up. Ajin had no choice but to find Ho-en. Ho-en advised her not to let others dance to her tune. But she was still in a dilemma. She was worried that Jin-sang's video would get leaked. Seeing Ajin like this, Ho-en decided to take action. At the graduation ceremony, Ho-en deliberately came dressed as a clown. After interacting with the fake Jeannie, he secretly stole her phone from her pocket. The fake Jeannie realized it and suspected that Hanu was also involved in this conspiracy. She dragged Hanu into the storage room and slapped her hard. When she was about to hit her again, Ho-en arrived. He threw the phone on the ground and stepped on it. He thought that this would solve everything. But unexpectedly, the fake Jeannie still had a backup plan. It turned out that she had already copied the video with Jin-sang. Seeing that threatening Ajin was ineffective, she then made the video public. At this moment, Jin-sang had also come to attend the graduation ceremony. His upcoming debut immediately drew the attention of everyone around. Ajin looked on in fear, as if everything was coming to light. The fake Jeannie smiled in a very wicked way. To prevent Jin-sang from being humiliated, Ajin ran onto the stage without hesitation. She had prepared herself to say everything, but Jin-sang pressed the play button himself. It turned out that from the very beginning, he hadn't actually filmed a video, but had only recorded a dance film. Ajin didn't know that this was because, at that time, he didn't have the courage to reveal it, thinking that Jin-sang had sent different content. As for fake Jeannie, she didn't know that it was because when she found out that the video had expired. However, she managed to restore it in time. She never opened it to watch. Jin-sang realized the truth and quietly decided to leave. As for fake Jeannie, who had taken the initiative to make everything public, she later had to face criticism. Everyone asked her to explain herself. Before she could say anything, fake Jeannie posted a status on her personal page. She said that her account had been hacked for a while and someone was impersonating her. Fake Jeannie couldn't come up with any more stories. She directly pointed at Ajin in front of everyone, saying that she was a shameless liar. Unfortunately, people didn't believe her. After all, she was the one who had been caught lying. Fake Jeannie couldn't take it anymore and confronted Ajin, questioning her. Looking at her face, it seemed as if she would eat her alive. Ajin didn't say anything. Fake Jeannie was about to go crazy when suddenly someone tapped her on the shoulder from behind. When she turned around, boiling water was thrown on her face. And the person was none other than her best friend, the one who had been isolated from the beginning. She laughed like a madwoman. Ajin was very scared after seeing this. She sat on the bench, thinking for a long time until Jin-sung arrived. He gave her a necklace. That's when she realized that real feelings can't be built on lies. The next day, her mother was admitted to a nursing home. It turned out that when she was little, Ajin had an older sister. Her older sister was very beautiful and everyone would often dote on her, whereas Ajin was like an invisible person who could only watch from afar. Gradually, she drifted away from her sister until one day there was a car accident. Her sister saved her by pushing her out of the way and died herself after being hit by the car. Her parents were mentally traumatized. Ajin imagined her sister's image and that's why she created Jeannie. Now her mother was also in the hospital. She started to wonder if she had done something wrong. Hanu came looking for her. For the first time, she told her the truth. Actually, when she first came, she genuinely wanted to be friends with her. But her arrogance was so great that it blinded her and hurt others as well. Hearing this, Ajin's eyes filled with tears. There were still unposted photos on the computer, but this time, Ajin decided to take off her contact lenses, remove her heavy makeup, take off her wig, and appear on social media with her real face. Then, she deleted all the photos related to Jeannie. The consequence of doing this could be that she would no longer be liked by many people, but Ajin felt relieved. She had been living in darkness, and now she was standing under the sun. So what if she wasn't perfect? The greatest courage after being born as a human is to accept yourself. There are many people with angelic appearances, and there are also many ordinary and simple people. Why deny your precious life just because you compare yourself to others? The story ends here, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss such amazing videos.